lost a lot, but I came out with no L's.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Jahan, what I need? Hey, flicker. Back and go full strip. Hey, Jahan.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 29-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Check 26, middle.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And they'll get this down to the 10. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Opening minute, and already a trip to the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Mike, hey! Mike, 5-4. I'm coming for you, son. Mike, easy! 54. Watch the pass. Hey.
Just beating the play clock. Stafford. That's caught by Howard. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
It'll definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. Johnson, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him, take 1 guy, 2 guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
This one taken from the 7. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about.
Let's go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They trail 3-0 after the INT last time led to a field goal, but now another fresh start here, 1st and 10. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And for a second straight play, the Lion defense drops him behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Check, 47. You.
Cousins to throw it. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down a pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Hey, team 6.
To throw is Stafford. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. There he goes, right side. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
54
Stafford here coming off his pick 6. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. First quarter touchdown run. Remember this coming on the heels of his NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance that was so great last week.
Did you feel the rumble all the way up here?
The big bodies up front.
Big bodies moving people, and him, of course, charging through those great holes that were created.
So off to a great start here. Maybe looking for award number 2, adding to the award that he won last week in the NFC. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
In just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively. move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense and he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. Open man is Galladay, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19.
It's a gain of 23 yards. First down.
We got it. Check three.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Watch twist.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On second down, Johnson. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. After one, a 14-3 ball game. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Check A3, ball going to A3. Rip left. Hey, Zoo. 42.
Here's Stafford. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. T.J. Hockenson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes, because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, he might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These two teams trading touchdowns here in what has been a back-and-forth first half.
And ordinarily, we're trying to figure out how to break out of a stalemate. Here, you're trying to figure out if you can slow someone down while continuing your breakneck pace on offense. I know one thing. The people in the crowd, they're getting their money's worth right now.
And the fantasy owners like it.
Oh, without a doubt. They're just tallying them up, aren't they?
They're watching this game. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Cousins gives way to Cook. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
We own them.
Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Of course, he's coming off that NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. 2 scores in that game a week ago.
And how did he get them? Speed is one thing, but how about the niftiness in his route running, able to cross people up in the secondary and make sure that they can't quite get to him before the ball arrives. He's something after the catch as well.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass and run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run. Cook. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
It's caught by Treadwell. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
10. Undercut. Check. Crunch.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
And now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Check it out, read. Switch.
Here's Muhammad. Well, he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's going to fire one deep up. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next year?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game, so they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
13 yards. Let's do it. First down.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Even though that one was incomplete, you could see the training that went into that play. He gets out of the pocket, ends up moving to his right. All he's trying to do, though, extend the life of the play. Keep it alive, hoping someone would pop free.
Was able to take a pretty good shot with a deep ball, but incomplete. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Good route here.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On 1st down, Stafford here. Complete. It's Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Let's make these babies cry on the way back. 10.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. So they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down.
Slip, like 7.
the gun. Stafford. He wants it all for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. This Minnesota D up to the task on the third down pass play. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
A 54-yard attempt.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a one-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot. Say, kill. Hey, check 21, 0.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Ready, 250. Cut. Check 9. Check 3. Hey, 5-0.
They go to Johnson again. And boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. They'll pass up a field goal attempt. It would have been a 45-yarder. Now they'll go for it on 4th.
Hey. Right there, 54, right there. Stay 50. Ricky. Hey, middle.
Here we go on fourth. Stafford. And that is going to be incomplete. The Lions turned away on fourth down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Strip that ball.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And Diggs has it. The 20. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And this one to Treadwell, complete. And he will not be able to get the 1st as he can get this only down to the 5.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though. 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 21. From the gun, Stafford. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Ed Oliver able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Stafford. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Throwing is Stafford. Forced out to his, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Then on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
To try again after the sack. Stafford, pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Daniil Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, Any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They run it again with Cook, and he stopped immediately there. Tackle made by the 3rd-round pick out of Louisiana, Tracy Walker. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll make this a 7-point game. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Detroit. Officially an even 100 yards coast to coast on the kick return, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point.
One of the most exciting plays in football, a kickoff return for a touchdown. And in all the excitement, let's not lose sight of the fact that now the pressure shifts to that snapper, holder, and kicker. This extra point is really important.
Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They did a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Again, it's Cook. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Watch left, watch left, watch left.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down.
No chance. Listen.
Now Cousins on 4th down. And he's going to go down. Back across midfield, he's sacked at the 46. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run on 1st down. Johnson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach, because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, it created a big run. They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
On 2nd and 12, Stafford. And he can't hang on. He had a good shot there for his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And with that last field goal, that puts him now at 300 made on his career, and that is something to celebrate.
And that puts him in the top 30 all time. So he's really made a mark, and he's got plenty of life left in that leg, that's for sure.
Come on, now, let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense... And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Monday. Jim. Shoot. Watch the shoot. He's coming. Hey, 22. He's coming.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
You can't block me. Check.
Stafford now to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches.
Let's go. Hey, switch gears. 53. Ready.
Now again, right side. Muhammad. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
At their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a quick throw to Thielen. That one, a first down pickup of 8. A cool little accomplishment for him passing the football. 25,000 yards. He just surpassed that for his career.
When he was a little guy in the backyard just throwing it around probably with his dad, he thought about playing in the NFL. He dreamed of it.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Trey Flowers in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Cook. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And remember, they're out of timeouts, so he spikes it here to stop the clock. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. He completes it to Treadwell. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. On 1st down, Muhammad. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Today's final score